What you should understand by now. If not, then go back and again see where you got a little bit missing, right? So first things, there is most likely a big market correction coming very, very soon. Like again, could be the next few months, could be the next year, we don't know. But again, if you look at the real numbers, there's definitely something cooking up, right? So we have to be aware of that. And of course, you have Cameron and Sukba with us as well. So if they want to add something in, just be aware that they can scream into it as well, right? Cam,
Hello.
Sukba.
Of course, of course.
There you go. Right. So be aware of this, that there could be a recession right around the corner, and you will have the skill set that will be recession proof, and you will have a huge advantage over technically everyone. Because again, if it hits, if it doesn't hit, it doesn't really matter. Or if it hit, even after that, you have concepts and techniques which are literally recession proof. So that's a huge benefit right there. Then we dig into the aspect of money, what it actually is, of how they're printing it left and right, like absolute maniacs currently. That of course they try to show you numbers with inflation rates which couldn't be further from the truth, right? Of course, it should be even higher, even if it's the highest out of a 40-year number base. It's 8.5% officially right now, but of course, it's technically even higher. You could do the math yourself if they're printing literally money where they can, like it's crazy, trillions of dollars and other currencies being printed. So of course that cannot be sustainable for much longer, and of course that's where the market has to correct itself at some point. But at least you got also the understanding of what money technically is, of how they use it against you, of how they connect emotions to it, of how they literally trap you in the and the illusion of money, and how they literally use it on a daily basis against you, right? And of course, most importantly, of how they use emotions against you, connecting with the money, right? So again, FOMO, greed, the fear of missing out, like technically the FOMO again, or the fear of losing money. That's all stuff, of course, that affects you big time. Then we dig into how the market is technically controlled and manipulated. Of course, the individuals you got also introduced to, like the architects, of how they do it, of how they're having the scientists, they know exactly how the market works, of what people trying to analyze in the markets, the psychology reasons behind it, and of course the syndicates behind it, like knowing all the data points of what the actual numbers look like, or how the actual numbers look like, and they're putting all together and put in the machinery that delivers the market. And we just call this machinery the Enigma. Why the Enigma? Because of course it encrypts the intentions of what's actually wanted to achieve in the market, which is of course making money. Don't make sure that you don't make money, trick you into position, stop you out, like attack strategies. Then at the end of the day, keep the market in balance and keep the wheel spinning. And we dig a little bit into the mitigation phases also, where the market has to be fairly delivered, right? And that's why the market sometimes comes back and fill these inefficiencies all the time, right? Then there are, of course, these entities that influence the market big time. Architect, we just covered it a little bit, and of how these retail strategies and also smart money strategies, of course, are literally quote unquote man-made, and of how they induce these people and systems and overall strategies to get involved into the market. Also, always be aware that your money, other people's money, companies' monies, hedge fund monies, whatever money it is, it's only getting activated when they push the button of activating a buy or sell. And of course, to do that, they need a reason to do so, because nobody would throw in the money into the market and just give it away. No, of course, they need a solid reason, a solid strategy they think that works. And again, if they show a trend line working, then of course it builds these false belief systems, and people think, oh my God, that's how the market works, right? And then of course, that's how the retail strategies shown on purpose to quote unquote build up and create this liquidity. And again, they have to show it. And again, if it always would fail immediately, if a triple top never would lead to a proper reaction, it would simply, nobody would trade it. And again, that's why also we dig a little bit into the basic map, basic master map in detail about the smart money concepts, of why they technically how to try to make this illusion work and again trick a lot of people into these new concepts right now, right? But that's of course not the case of how the market works. Cam?
So also we had liquidity will be induced and Enigma has to fairly deliver price and has to mitigate into our refined supply and demand zones. Obviously we covered that quite a lot in very basic detail in the basic master map before sort of expanding on it a little bit, and then we showed you how to refine down the candles and all of that sort of stuff. We also touched upon the false education, like smart money concepts and market structure. We ripped into it a little bit, but hopefully not too much. Hopefully no one's going to be getting upset over that one. It's also important to understand the basic inducement types and how they affect price action with momentum of like the momentum which induces people to take stuff the wrong way. They're very important with identifying your inducements. And then obviously we touched a little bit upon the Asia range, using that for your main guide of the day and using that to sort of ground yourself and understand what's a minor inducement, what's a medium inducement, when the day starts, key liquidity areas as well. And then after Asia, we obviously have Frankfurt Open and London Open, and these are your first timing confluences that you can use to your advantage. And this is where you want to look for your inducements, maybe your inducements of the day, or maybe just your inducements that provide pullbacks. You need to understand whether it's made a minor inducement or a medium inducement and where you are within all of that. And then obviously we really want to emphasize that identifying your liquidity types, whether it's your breakout liquidity, trend liquidity, equal highs, equal lows, smart money, all of these things, it's really important that you focus in on this and you get good at identifying this liquidity, because the last thing you want to be doing is actually becoming liquidity yourself. So by identifying liquidity, you can obviously avoid all of the traps and stuff like this, and it will just make your trading a lot less stressful.
So the key learnings, again, just to sum it up a little bit more, again, understand of how this market actually is delivered. Man-made strategies are in there. People need reasons to take positions. And of course, they're getting induced. Momentum, speed, we talked about inducement types. So the most important thing to understand of how they're getting the liquidity in to the market and how it actually is delivered, like fairly delivered, quote unquote, fairly delivered, and how these inducements will make a major impact and will change your overall chart vision once and for all, right? Again, it will be very clean the moment you get used to it. And that's just one of these moments where you just see it and then hopefully you never can unsee it ever again. And that's where your chart vision really takes advantage over everything.